טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome. We're so grateful for everyone who is here with us in our sanctuary, especially our confirmation students and their families. We're so grateful for everyone who is here on Zoom. We really are glad to make our Shabbat services broad and accessible to everyone who wants to join. So I felt like a really good rabbi this week, just because there was nothing special going on, but I just had some downtime and I wrote a really nice sermon all about the happiness that comes in the month of Adar. And that was on Tuesday. And then Wednesday night, our world officially changed. And so did our service. Like all of you here, my attention is drawn to Ukraine. I spent the rest of the week cramming up on European history and politics, missing so much nuance, I know. But I do understand a leader who is using power and fear to his advantage. And I know that real lives and innocent lives are at stake. And I come tonight looking for a place to start. This conflict isn't about Jews, I also know that. But because we're at Temple, we're not here for more commentary on the news. I wanted to draw our attention briefly to the 40,000 or so Jews who live in Ukraine. It's a relatively small number, remnants of communities long forgotten. Many of us here have connections to the former Soviet Union. Much of the Jewish population was diminished by the Holocaust. Others made Aliyah to Israel or resettled in Germany and the US. But perhaps you or your parents were born in the former Soviet Union. Maybe you are here because you fled in search of a better life. Many Jews left searching for freedom, peace, and prosperity. Many who could got out. But now those relatives and friends, those who stayed behind, are hiding in bomb shelters or maybe volunteering for military service as we speak. And as is true of the Jewish story everywhere, those who did stay remained committed to Jewish life in whatever way it could be lived. In recent years, the Ukrainian government had restored ownership of synagogues to local communities. Chabad has been a presence in the area for nearly 30 years, and Hillel and the progressive Jewish community have deepened their roots there too. There are approximately 10 progressive rabbis working throughout Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. Hillels are a vibrant community for young people, not restricted to the American university model that we have here, but reaching out to any young person who wanted to learn more about their Jewish identity. Most of those people only recently discovering some past Jewish connection. Communities in Ukraine have active Jewish lay leaders who are well-versed in leading ritual and who are committed to revitalizing their communities. Many have spent time traveling or living in Israel. They speak Hebrew, but they have returned home to lead and live Jewish life. Of course, it's not just Jews who are impacted right now by terror and fear, but I know that the more that we can imagine ourselves or our family in a situation, the more empathy we have. We are sharing in the fears and insecurities of Ukrainians, their hopes and dreams, wanting safe homes, spaces to learn, a country to be free. There is a value, Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh Bazeh. All of Israel is responsible for one another. And I don't exactly know what to do right now, but I do know that the World Union for Progressive Judaism is a place where I feel comfortable beginning. You can make a donation there through their website if you feel moved. That money will go to strengthening to the Jewish communities of the Ukraine. And tonight on Shabbat, we will pray for wiser heads to prevail, for good to triumph over evil, for brothers and sisters who are in harm's way to escape suffering with their lives and dignity intact. And we'll all pray for peace tonight with broken hearts. God of creation, in your great mercy, protect the dwellers of your world. Spread over them a canopy of peace. Remove from within them hatred and intolerance, and plant in their hearts love and unity, that we may fulfill the vision of your prophet. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for being here. We will add light to a darkened world with the celebration of a new young adult. We are inviting Hannah Villarreal. I just asked. Villarreal to the Bima along with your family to lead us in Shabbat candlelighting. Hannah, Yifra, Yara, and Maya, please come join us. And we're on page 2 and 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our life, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. You can write it. You're an adult now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shabbat.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue our service on page 20 and 21, welcoming Shabbat with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai,
Yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, Nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet ve'elit tchilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat,
nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor ha'bracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila lecha dodi likrat kalai yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kalai yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Verse 5.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi uri, 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 shir daberi, kevod Adonai alai nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We turn to verse 9 and rise if you're able to greet Shabbat's presence facing our entrance.
Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam besimcha uvesohola toch emunei am segula boi kala Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We remain standing and turn to page 28 to welcome one another with the words of Baruch Hu.
Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai lai.
Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim v'chochma potech sha'arim udvitvuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim misader et hakochavim b'mishmeretechem berakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshach v'hoshach mipnei or Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on this evening. We continue on page 34, singing words together that unite us all in humanity. Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvletecha v'derech uv'shovbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uktabtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isha'arecha Lema'an tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kadoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We sing our song that yearns for freedom on page 40, Michamocha.
Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, osei felet, Nora tehilot, osei felet, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh.
Rabbi Darrell passed along these thoughts to me this morning from a Rabbi Michael Farbman, who grew up in Belarus, who has lived in Ukraine and Russia, and writes, "My job often requires me to help people process the reality around them, but also bring hope. Tonight, as I watch the war unfold on the streets of one of my homes, I don't have much hope to offer. I pray for my friends and people I don't know to have a peaceful night. The evening prayers contain the blessing, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu l'chaim. Cause us, Adonai, our God, to lie down in peace and raise us up in the morning to life renewed." Well, tonight feels like praying for peace and the end of a war might be a little too presumptuous. So I will just pray for a quiet night for those in the eye of a storm, a chance to wake up alive. I will keep texting my friends, checking in from afar, and helping them to know that they are not afraid alone. So sometimes when we feel powerless, the best things we can do is to turn to prayer as a source of strength and comfort and recite these words we have been praying for ages and ages, just for a good night of peace. The Hashkivenu is on page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, our wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We pray as if everything depended on God, but act as if everything depends on us. We turn to page 46 and rise for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Gila Livnei V'Nehem L'Ma'an Shemo B'Ahava Melech Hozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gipor Le'olam Adonai B'chayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem Mechakel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melech Melech Memid Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We now take a moment to sit silently with our thoughts, to pray silently, privately, to read the words of our Siddur. Whatever you do with this time, take it for yourselves, and when you feel ready, you may be seated. We continue in our supplement with number 10, Prayer for Healing.
Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless, and this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes. Hold each other by this tree of life. I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless, with love on our side.
When we are in pain, sometimes it's hard to think of the whole world. We think of ourselves who are suffering. We think of those we love who need healing. And we have compassion. We have compassion for all who are suffering because we know what it means to be in pain, to be sick, to need that lift of spirit. And so we do that too in community here with each other. We use that strength of prayer to offer comfort, to offer renewal. And we share those names aloud with one another who we are thinking of so that we know how to offer each other support. Our community is praying tonight for Stephanie Levitt, Marilyn Greenwald, Marcia Margolin, Francie Karp, Leah Bat Gedalia Bat Vega, Evan Bin, Lynn Etlinger, Larry Margolis, Dory Winchell, Gary Verbin, Larry Gurman, Rebecca Frazier, Marcel Frazier, Sherry Berenstein, Maxine Rogo, Pari Meskin, David Habib, Anna Tran, Jane Barker Haugen, Lev Heschel Ben Bat Ami, Suzanne Price, Carol Kleinman, Art Miller, Sergio Rybka, Samuel Jimmy Ezekiel, Ruth Remke, and Carol Penn. Additionally, if you are at home on Zoom, please add names to the chat box so we can see them here. And if you're in our sanctuary and you'd like to rise, I'll come around so that you can also share names of healing. Rabbi Darrell will too. Thank you. We wish those names we said aloud and the names we hold in our hearts a refuah shlema.
Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome again. In this week's Torah portion by Akel, Moses begins the building project of the tabernacle, or the Mishkan, the place where God's presence will dwell among the Israelites in the desert. Moses solicits gifts of gold, silver, copper, and a long list of other precious items to provide for the structure and its decoration. Every detail in the Parsha deals with the objects used in the construction of the Mishkan, the tent, and the ark. Moses then calls upon the skilled artisans, Bezalel and Oholiab, who are said to be endowed with skill, ability, and knowledge to lead the building. What I'm struck by this week is the contrast of the unified giving described in our Torah portion versus the greed and power of the land grab we're seeing play out in Russia and Ukraine. With regard to giving gifts and engaging in the labor of building, the biblical text uses the phrase, "Everyone whose heart was so moved gave." We are inspired by a project that brought a community together, that shared a goal of holiness. The Israelites were so inspired that even when the building started, the gifts kept coming and coming. The donations were so generous that Moses had to tell the Israelites to stop. Our Torah never questions the need to give, to offer what we can to sustain our community. Yet we also acknowledge dayenu. When there is more than enough, we don't need more. We hardly see that in our real world today. Outside of our Torah, we're greeted with the actions of an oligarch who will attack a neighboring country, risk the lives of his soldiers, his people, take on sanctions, economic turmoil, and so much loss instead of just acknowledging enough. I have enough wealth, enough power, enough control. This kind of leadership is in direct opposition to Moses, who thinks of all. Moses is thinking about a sacred community that can be built when all are honored for their contributions, working toward a common goal. A midrash on Parshat Vayekel considers another type of contrast between the gifts brought for the construction of the Mishkan and the gold and silver that were given to build the golden calf in the wilderness. The story tells us that the very same golden jewelry that the Israelites initially brought to make the golden calf, they now contribute to the construction of the Mishkan. This repurposing of precious donations for something holy rather than an idol is a sign of inner healing for the Israelites. By contributing to the Mishkan, the Israelites do an act of Teshuva, an act of repentance. The Midrash offers hope that there can always be a change of heart. We can always turn around from even the worst leadership decisions of the golden calf. There is always redemption. Inspired by Torah, we must always speak out in consciousness to resist the human idolatry of sovereignty and the covet of land. Instead, we must work on building communities predicated on intimacy and holiness. And that's what we do here every Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Wise-hearted men, wise-hearted women, bring what you can, silver and linen, wool of crimson, hand of blue, and the bodies I gave you. Build me a tent that I can dwell in, incense and oil and precious stones. And when you walk, I'll walk beside you. Where you live will be my home. B'Tselel, guide them well. Build me a place to dwell. Make me a lamp with 7 branches from a single piece of gold. 7 arms like almond blossoms. From their petals, fire will glow. Oh, holy Yah, fill them with love. Make me a place to live. Melt down your copper mirrors to make a sacred bowl. Fill it up with holy water to to wash your bodies and your souls. Wise-hearted men, wise-hearted women, bring what you can, silver and linen. For announcements tonight, we are grateful that our president is here, Roger Feigelson. Please share with us how we can build our community together.
And Yasher Koach, you have a beautiful voice. Shabbat Shalom. And Shabbat Shalom to everybody on Zoom. Lori and Patty, Marcia and Steve. Yeah, there's over 40 of you. Let's move on. We got a lot of great stuff going on here. You all probably get the e-news, so definitely check that out. But here are the highlights for you. The Torah Project we just launched. We've been bombarding you with emails and videos, one of them even starring me. I apologize for that, and on behalf of Dolores, my partner. And brochure was sent out in the mail. And you know, we're all commanded to write Torah. I think that's the last commandment, right? Here's your chance to go in and fill in a letter. So the sign-ups are available now. Please go visit the site to sign up. There's other ways to participate as well. We need volunteers, so you can help in that regard. And then we need donations of varying sizes, and there's different levels of gifts. So please take a look at the website and sign up and participate, because we need everybody on board for this. And then Purim is coming up, and we're back. If you might recall, that was the very first thing that got shut down when the pandemic hit, much to everybody's disappointment. We're back now. We've got what do we call it? The Shabbat Happy Hour with Vashtinis. Sign up for that. I'm going to be there. Not that that's an incentive or anything. I'm just saying, Vashtinis, I'll be there. And then, of course, the Purim Spiel, the Purim Carnival, it's all back. Go to the website, check that out. And it's just so exciting to have all this stuff going on again. I feel like we're coming out of hibernation. And then let me tell you there's lots of stuff going on here. I'm not going to read it all. If you want to learn Mahjong, there's a new Mahjong workshop starting very soon, February 29th. Donna Spanger is going to be leading it. We learned here at the temple, now we're addicted. You too can become a Mahjong addict. And last but not least, Hamantaschen baking. It goes along with Purim. The Hamantaschen, to me, is one of the most important parts. But Bethel Women's going to be doing their usual, I guess it's not usual anymore, but it's coming back doing the Hamantaschen baking. That's February 27th through March 13th in Zelda's Kitchen over across the way there. Check out the e-nos for more details on that and all the other stuff that's going on. There's no shortage of stuff to do and be part of this community. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Roger. We turn now in our service to page 294. So many of us are here tonight, again, because we have loss and pain of our own, because we're here remembering someone who we've lost recently, or we're marking the loss of someone who died at this time in years past. If you are here remembering someone tonight, I invite you to rise. We are remembering Jan Greenberg, Curtis Mayer, Marianne Buckwalter, Stephen Dickstein, Noreen Hoffman Lupoli, Zora Lita Coakley, Jerome Jerry Chazan, Emmanuel Kemakar, Dr. Gilbert Gradinger, Beverly Hines. And the Shabbat, it is the yahrzeit of William Abrams, Ava Alperovitz, Norman Ball, Adrian Paul Bardet, Warren Bauer, Evie Berger, Leo Blum, Ellen Bonner, Lillian Buckchus, Nathan Ben Davidson, Sarah DeHoff, Helen Delheim, Edward Diamond, Cantor Herbert I. Epstein, Dr. Israel Fisher, Philip Freeberg, Harold Gewurtz, Lawrence Greenwald, Jonathan Harms, Judy Holmes, Josh Jaffe, Pearl Rock Kane, Walter Klebe, Samuel Colbin, Joseph Coates, Martha P. Cokes, Leah Lasser, Leroy Lebovitz, Jack Liebler, Ken Madfus, Lillian May, Al Melman, Sydney Miller, Marion Mincer, Ruth Hines Nelson, Edith Shifton Nevins, Aaron Rappaport, Herbert Rosenbaum, Lily Rothblum, Louis Samuels, Maurice Schoenbrunn, Morris Schultz, Janice Selix, Bernice Siepser, Sylvia Steinberg, Robert M. Taubman, June Thompson, Michael Warsilla, and Andrew Weichelslick. And I apologize if I mispronounced anyone's name. Dickstein? Dickstein. Thank you. For everyone else who is here tonight in support of our mourners, again, we rise in support of each other and turn to the Kaddish on page 294. Yitzgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, Be'amad ivra chirte v'amlich malchute, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayet chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam al mei al maya, yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemed kedusha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nachamata, za'amiran be'amav v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yosvei tevel v'imru amen. Zikronam livracha, may their memory be for a blessing. Will we remain standing as we hold moments of memory along with moments of joy, with moments of sweetness for Shabbat. Hannah, you're becoming bat mitzvah this Shabbat, so we invite you to come to the bima now to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'rata banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim. V'shabbat kodshecha be'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Give us a big l'chaim.
L'chaim.
Good. You can take a sip of that grape juice. And we can see your beautiful smile too. And now we'll say motzi if you want to grab the challah. Just take it out from under. You can even unwrap it. This is harder. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen. Te'avon, you can take a piece of that challah, and for everyone else, we invite you to stay after services for more challah and juice and treats, and to get to know each other, to please say hi and Shabbat Shalom. And Hannah, we will see you at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Mazel tov to the Be Real family, and we will celebrate more. right, thank you everyone for being here. Thanks to our confirmation class and your families for joining us for dinner. Thanks for everyone on Zoom. We end with a prayer for much needed peace.
Oh, say shalom. Bim Roma. Oh, say shalom. Bim Roma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Shua.
Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom. Nice service.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey!
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Be well, everybody. Let there be peace.
Shalom.
Yes, Andy.
Yes.